Hey guys, how you doing? Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your daily Major League Baseball report card for Monday. It is May 8th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner if you're watching on YouTube, or if you are getting us on your favorite podcast, make sure to download us each and every day using your favorite platform, and we are the Raymond Report. All right, let's kick it off in Cleveland, where the Guardians, not the Cavaliers, but the Guardians, a minus 185 favorite here today against the Tigers. First pitch today at Progressive Field is at 6:10 Eastern. Minus 185 is the line here on the Guardians. 8 is the total. And according to the Raymond Report forecast, we're going to lean with the Cleveland Guardians. 4.4 to 3.5, the over-under to land on 8.01. So we do like it to go over the total. Looking at the bookmakers line, we have them listed at minus 185 for the bookmakers, and the Raymond Report has the daily market value index on the Guardians at minus 173, so a little bit in the fair market value area. We are recommending a one-unit recommendation unit on the Cleveland Guardians, and if you like Detroit, well, Detroit in their last, last 10 games, they've been 5-5, 7-2-1 to the over, and they're coming off a loss 12-6 to the St. Louis Cardinals in their last game. And for the Guardians, they're coming off a 2-0 win over the Twins. Cleveland 6-9 at home this year, while Detroit 7-11 on the away from Comerica Park. Now, both these teams are C-type teams in the Raymond Report, and when Detroit facing another C-type team, they are 6-3 on the year, while Cleveland is 10-8. Bullish 2 days for Detroit, neutral 1 day for the Guardians. Let's go to the Camden Yards, where the Baltimore Orioles are going to face the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the Rays, coming from behind yesterday, they were down 6-0, 6-1 in that game against the Yankees, and they came back to win. 8-7 was the final for the Rays. And looking at today's line, minus 170 is the line on Tampa Bay. 8 is the total, and we are going to lean with the Rays in this one. 4.6 to 3.6, the over-under, to land on 8.28. And looking at the starting pitchers for Baltimore, you got Kyle Gibson going up against the lefty Shane McClanahan. In fact, let's take a look at McClanahan's numbers on the year. In fact, 6-0, a 2.02 ERA, so he is in Cy Young form. And today we're going to lean with the Rays, 4.6 to 3.6, the over-under, to land on 8.28. And looking at the chance of winning, the percentage play favors Tampa Bay at 50.9%. compared to 35.2 for the Baltimore Orioles. Now, the Orioles at home this year at Camden Yards, 9-4 straight up, and so is Tampa Bay on the road, 9-4. But look at that home record for the Tampa Bay Rays. They are 19-3 at Tropicana Field this season, and whenever they face another A-type team, they are 4-2. Only 6 occurrences for the Tampa Bay Rays facing those teams above 60%. While the Baltimore Orioles, they are 3-6, similar to a little bit like the Pittsburgh Pirates are against those top-rated teams. Neutral 2 days for Baltimore, and bullish 5 days for the Tampa Bay Rays in the value index. And I did have Tampa Bay listed at minus 126 on my value index, and you can see they're overvalued today at minus 170. A 5-unit recommendation if you do like Baltimore, and a 1-unit recommendation if you like Tampa Bay. Colorado taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, the Pirates, a 175 favorite. They are now in a bearish cycle. They had a hard time against the Blue Jays over the weekend. In fact, let's take a look at the last game for Pittsburgh. It was a 10-1 win for the Blue Jays, while Colorado, they won 13-6 at Citi Field against the New York Mets. And today, Colorado is a road underdog. In fact, Pittsburgh, a 175 favorite, and 8 is the total. A 60.5% chance of winning here for the Bucks compared to 40% for the Colorado Rockies, not the Avalanche. 4.5 to 3.8 favoring Pittsburgh on our forecast. Pittsburgh 9-7 at home this season, while Colorado 7-12 on the road. And against those B-type teams of this season, they are 2-4. Actually, let me see here. Nope, sorry. They are 4-6 against those B-type teams, while Pittsburgh against those C-type teams, yeah, they beat the beatables. They are 16-6 straight up. Bearish 3 days for the Pittsburgh Pirates, while the Colorado Rockies, they're bullish now for the last 2 days. Minus 131 was my line here today on the Pittsburgh Pirates, so they're overvalued in a bearish cycle, so be careful. None of these teams have a recommended unit on the bet recommendation on the money management system, as Colorado's bullish and Pittsburgh is bearish, so not a good stock market day for both these teams. Oakland taking on the New York Yankees. Now, the Yankees fell apart yesterday. Garrett Cole had a great outing, but unfortunately the bullpen let him down. Minus 220 is the line, 8.5 is the total, and we're going to lean with the Bronx Bombers at home, where they are 11-8 on the season, while Oakland, they are 5-12 on the road this season, and against those B-type teams, they're only 1-8 straight up, while the Yankees, they are 8-2 against C-type teams. Both these teams in a neutral cycle for 2 days, and we did have the Yankees listed at minus 161 on our value index, and you can see they're overvalued today at minus 220. A 4-unit recommendation on the Yankees compared to 1 unit for the Oakland Athletics. The Chicago White Sox, big win yesterday. In fact, the final score of that game for the White Sox, they pounded the Minnesota Twins, I believe that were Cincinnati Reds. Yeah, 17-4. So they scored 2 touchdowns and a field goal against the Cincinnati Reds. And today they are going to send Dylan Cease, their ace, to the hill against Zach Greinke, the old veteran for the Kansas City Royals. Both these teams in the high 40s when it comes to the percentage play. Chicago, a minus 135 favorite, 49.1% chance of winning here for Dylan Cease and the White Sox, while Kansas City, 8.5 is the total, 46.9 is their chances of winning. And looking at the computer forecast, we're going to lean with the White Sox in this one, 4.6 to 4.2, the over-under to land on 8.94. So we do like this game to go over the total. Kansas City, not a really great home record this year, 3-16, while Chicago 6-13 on the road. And both these teams are C-type teams, meaning they are teams below 500. Chicago is 5-3 against those C-type teams, while Kansas City is 5-4. Chicago, though, the first time I think they've been bullish this season, they are bullish 1 days, and Kansas City bearish at 23 days now. They've been in a bad cycle, meaning they're either 2-5, 1-6, or 0-7 in their last 7 games. None of these teams have any recommended units in our money management system. LA Dodgers, nice come from behind. Mookie Betts scoring the tying run yesterday to give the Dodgers a 5. I believe that that final score was 5-3 or 5-2. Let me see here. Yeah, 5-2 against San Diego. Today, Tony Gonsolin going up against Freddie Peralta of the Brew Crew. Minus 110, so we got a pick 'em line here for both these teams. And the over-under this game is listed at 8.5. The Dodgers, a 47.2% chance of winning compared to 46.9 for the Brew Crew. A 4.7 computer pick forecast favoring the LA Dodgers, while 4.3 for the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, looking at the Brew Crew at home this year, 9-6 is their home record, 9-8 for the Dodgers on the road. And against those B-type teams this year, the Dodgers are 6-7, while the Milwaukee Brewers, they struggle against the top teams. They are 2-3 on the year. They've been bearish 3 days now compared to bullish 9 days for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Minus 142 was our line here on the Dodgers, plus 140 on the Brew Crew, and we do have a 1-unit recommendation today on the Dodgers. St. Louis taking on the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley. Now looking at the line on this game, the line is listed at minus 150. You got Marcus Stroman, the Stroman, going up against Miles Malkless of the St. Louis Cardinals. Now looking at the forecast, we do like the Chicago Cubs to win this one. 3.9 to 3.3, the over-under to land on 7.37. Minus 150 is the line. I had minus 136 on my value index, so Chicago, the Cubbies, a bit overvalued today against Miles Malkless and the Cardinals. And looking at their chances of winning at 32.7% compared to 59.2% for the Cubs. And when the Cubs are at home this year, they are 10-9. St. Louis 5-11 on the road this season. And against those B-type teams, they are 4-7, while the Cubbies beat the Beatables. They are 12-5 against C-type teams in the Raymond Report. Houston Astros taking on the LA Angels. Now looking at the Angels starting pitcher for today, they're going to send Patrick Sandoval to the hill against Hunter Brown. And looking at their last game, a 16-8 win against the Texas Rangers, the Angels did, while the Houston Astros fell 3-1 to the Mariners. And today they are a minus 125, Houston is, and we had them listed at minus 165. So you're getting Hunter Brown at minus 125, but we had the Houston Astros listed at minus 165. So you're getting a little bit of a discount today against Sandoval and the Halos. And the Halos at home this year, 9-7. On the 2023 campaign, while Houston is 9-6 on the road. And we're going to lean with Houston on the computer pick, 4.7 to 4.2, the over-under to land on 8.96. You can see the Angels here are a bullish 6 days, while the Astros a neutral 9 days, which I kind of like because whenever you get a team that's in the neutral cycle, they're in a win one, lose one type situation. But when you got a team that's bullish or bearish, it's like trying to catch a falling knife whenever they're going to win or lose that next game. Miami taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals coming off that 9-8 loss yesterday to the Washington Nationals. They're going to send Zach 10-gallon hat to the hill today against Garrett Richards of the Miami Marlins. Now looking at the line, we had minus 220 here for the Arizona Cardinals. 161 is the line here we had here at the Raymond Report. So you can see they're a bit overvalued today at minus 220. And we got a 4.4 to 3.4 win for Arizona. And we're giving them a 63.6% chance of winning compared to 33.5 for the Marlins. And let's take a look at their home record this year. 10-7 on the road, 7-9 for the Marlins. And looking at the overall record for Arizona this year, 19-15, while Miami is 17-18 on the season. And looking at their records against C-type team, Arizona is 9-6, while Miami 8-6 against those B-type teams. And we do have a 4-unit recommendation on the D-backs, 0 for the Marlins. Texas taking on the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners a 155 favorite. They're off a big win yesterday over the Houston Astros. 3-1 was the final. Logan Gilbert getting the nod here today against John Gray of the Texas Rangers. Minus 155 is the line, and 8 is the total. We're going to lean with the Mariners in this one. 4.3 to 3.7. The over-under at 8.1. So we do like it to go over the total. 58.1 is the percentage play favor in Seattle. 41.2 for the Rangers. The Rangers on the road this year, they are 8-7, while Seattle 1 game below 500, 9-10 on the season at home. And against those B-type teams, they are 4-4 against those B-type teams, while the Texas Rangers against the A-type teams, they haven't played an A-type team yet, but they played the B-type teams. They're 8-7. Seattle against the A-type teams are 3-11. 4-4 against B-type teams, and 10-2 against C-type teams. So just to repeat that, so I don't confuse you guys, the Seattle Mariners against the teams above 60%, 3-11. Against those 50 to 59.9, 4-4, and against those C-type teams, they are 10-2 on the season. Both these teams coming in a very good cycle, bullish cycle for 2 days. And we did have Seattle listed at minus 142 on our value index. And you can see they are favored at minus 155. A 2-unit recommendation on the Mariners and a 1 recommendation on the Texas Rangers. And your final game of the evening will be played in the West Coast, where at Oracle Park, where the San Francisco Giants are going to send Anthony DeSclafani to the hill against Jake Irvin of the Washington Nationals. Washington off a big win yesterday. 9-8 final was the final score against the D-backs, while San Francisco a 7-3 loss to the Brew Crew. And today, San Fran, a big favorite here, minus 225, and the over-under is at 8.5. A 68.1% chance of winning for the Giants compared to 27.8 for Washington. And we're going to lean with San Fran in this one. 5.1 to 3.3, the over-under, to land on 8.44. So we do like this game to go under the total. Looking at the home record for the Giants this year, 9-8 compared to 8-8 for the Nationals on the road. In fact, the Nationals might want to consider playing more road games because they're only 6-12 at home this year, and they are 8-8 on the road. And against those C-type teams, they've only played the C-type teams 5 times this year, so maybe that's why their record is not that great at 14-20, while San Fran is 15-18 on the year. Both these teams in a neutral cycle. In fact, Washington, neutral 16 days, so win one, lose one in the last 2 weeks or so. And they're in a better cycle. Minus 146 is the line we have here on the Giants. 225 is the line that we have from the bookmaker. So we do see that San Fran is overvalued today against the Nationals, and both these teams do have a 1-unit recommendation. There you have it. That is your daily report card today, brought to you by the Raymond Report. And if you're interested in my selections each and every day, Ron Raymond, you can get them right here at atsstats.com. Once you go to the website, look at the top menu, go to picks, and look for Ron Raymond. And we're coming off a pretty good night last night in the Major League Baseball. In fact, we went 2-1. The only loss we had was Cincinnati on that butt kicking they took from the White Sox, but we did win with the Braves and the Dodgers, and we won our free pick on the Florida Panthers at plus 1.5 goals. We didn't need it because they won straight up. Have yourself a great rest of your Cash Out Monday. We'll see you back soon here on the Raymond Report.